with your nursing background, I'm curious on how does that experience directly influence the unique effectiveness and safety of Zenfullyme's products, especially for like sensitive skin, and to give us a little background about your nursing experience.
So, been a nurse for 30 years, started off in kind of touching with every aspect, geriatrics, pediatrics, and behavioral health. So all plays a role in how we go about making our products. Pediatrics, children are sensitive. Um, Behavioral health, from that aspect, the anxiety, depression. We use a lot of essential oils that will help with those. So anxiety, lavender, chamomile for calming. So we take a lot of that in consideration when we create our products.
Oh, great. So, as a nurse, are you still practicing?
Yes.
Okay, so do you have a full-time nursing and this is on the side or?
Yeah, I'm a full-time nurse, full-time mom, and full-time business owner.
Wow, your plate is full.
Yeah.
So in your nursing part of your life, are you which part are you focusing on now? Are you still all over?
No, I am actually behavioral health.
Okay.
And that kind of drives us a little bit because I see individuals with that suffer from the anxiety, depression, um, um, things along that line that will help, with the essential oils that we use will help in that aspect. A lot of patients that, I see are, suffering from mental health. And so I kind of focus, you know, on those aspects of it. Um, I think my background kind of with nursing kind of goes with our business because I started our business to help. And my own children suffer from anxiety. So I wanted to create something that was organic, something that was, I know would work, and products that would benefit not only my children, but others.
Right. And I, as someone who suffers from anxiety and depression, I can totally get that. And I too like the essential oils and, and other natural holistic options as opposed to going for prescription. It's just, I would rather try and treat more of the uh, source than just the symptoms. And so, some of this natural stuff, what you're putting on your skin, what you're consuming, what you're breathing in, that all plays a role. So your products at least take care of one of those aspects.
And don't get me wrong, from both backgrounds, a nursing and then a mom, and totally believe in medication because but I think that taking the most simplest approach first
Right.
is the best way. So if you're suffering from anxiety and um, you can try a natural remedy like lavender that will help not only with sleep, but help to calming, then use those. Medication's always going to be there, but using the least approach is the best way, and that's how I feel. A lot of medications have side effects, so if you could try something that is natural first, then try that, and then again, medication's always going to be there. With medications, you're going to have side effects. So for myself and for my as a mom, I opted to try the least the best approach that I felt, which was like essential oils instead of medication at first with mine.
Right. And so I love the name Zenfullyme. Was that was that a collaborative effort, or did that was that something that came to your mind that you were like, that's it?
Well, it actually was a personal because I believe like in that inner space really is calming and of course me.
Right.
So I just put them together. I want that calming effect and I want it for me, not only for me, but everyone. But, and that's basically how we came up with the name. It's simply me.
Okay, I love it.
That
So
calming.
Zenfullyme started as products that were inspired by your family. You already
Mhm.
let us know that. So what's been the most surprising part, good or bad, about growing from making products for your family to a full-on business and a side business on that, you know.
So I think the most when I started off making our products, it was for my family. My husband was military. He would come home with aches, pains. My son was a wrestler, and he would come home with it. And then on top of that, my daughters had like every allergy that you can think of. They have like sensitive skin. So some of the products that were out there, they just can't use. Um, so I think from going from helping my family to helping others, um, and it's the I think is I don't even know how to word it. Um, the business aspect because I'm doing it just to help people.
Yep.
So changing over to that business frame of mind not always correlates with trying to help, but I'm in it for helping people.
Right.
Um, it's that's someone might come to me and be like, they have this. Do I have something for this? And I'm looking at them and they're telling me their stories. That's why I love getting out there vending because I get to meet people and I get to hear their stories. I get to hear what they're needing.
Right.
Um, and so, yeah. And when I hear that they're needing something and they can't find it, we're creating. It sparks in us and we're creating something. I'm giving
Right.
them a card and I'll be like, just keep checking back. I'm going to come up with something for
Right.
you.
You never know what's gonna come out there. And so basically, the most surprising fact for you would be going from a place of service
Mhm.
to having to do that, create what you want, but also bring in the business aspect, which is, a monster on its own, so to speak.
Exactly.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay, your heart is here, but you still have to pay, inventory, create this stuff, make sure the books are balanced and then you have enough to keep going and make it worth your while. Of course, it's worth your while when people are getting results and feel better, but it's still a business which you have to,
Yeah. And
switch your mind.
one of the things one of the things that I noticed when I started was um, I was out there looking for products. When I found out that my kids were allergic to this and that, and my husband was suffering, and I knew I wanted them to do like the handcrafted, the organic. But then when I start looking and seeing the price
Oh
of
yeah.
that, I was like, oh my goodness. And at the time, again, my husband's military. If you ever been military, does not make that much. So the prices were just like outrageous with some prices, on items. And so that's one of the things I swore to myself in our business, that we were going to keep our prices reasonable, that for anyone that is wanting to be able to use handcrafted organic products, that we were going to keep our prices reasonable. That way people would be able to get what they need
Right. Well, I
and
love
create
that.
a product that was organic, good, and reasonable for people.
Right. I know when you when some companies slap organic on it, it may or may not be depending on, I know there's designations and things like that,
Mm,
but it's more for, okay, now we're going to jack up the price. I don't know if it's a better product or not, but it's more about profit. So,
it
I
is.
love your heart and your wanting to, again, you have to make a profit so you can keep going and the business can survive, but also keep it where it's more reasonable and it's not all about, let me just get the highest dollar. You want to help the most people.
Yes. And I think, that's from being a mom, being a nurse, and just wanting others to be able to afford and have products there that they can use, and good quality products. Now, I'm not saying, I always say that you can give 5 people the same ingredients, and each one is going to have a different take. Not every product is going to be the same. So, we try to, make sure that we develop a good quality product. That's We do giveaways, testing to make sure that, our products are good. Um, and just, there's different ways we go about things. I mean, but our main goal is to make sure that we're creating a product that is good for the public and for our customers.